Hi there, my name is Jesse Lemus, and I'm applying for the Human Rights Initiative Grant Fund. Today, I want to speak about my experience and my background and the project that I present to you guys. I was born and raised here in Winnipeg, Manitoba. I am of Latin American parents who were born in El Salvador and Guatemala in Central America. They immigrated here in 1990. They actually met here in Manitoba. And from a young age, I was taught to feel proud of my background and my roots and who I was, what my identity is. So I remember going to talent shows in my school, and while everyone was performing modern day music, hip hop, rap, whatever you will, I was performing folkloric music and my folkloric um, regalia or outfit or costume, whatever you may want to call it. And I felt proud. I felt very, very proud, even though I was born and raised here in Winnipeg. And at that age is when I discovered that I had a passion for culture. I had a passion for language, and I had a passion for learning about other cultures as well. I had a diverse range of friends from different parts of the world, and I liked that. I liked learning from other cultures. And later on in life, I was presented with the opportunity to teach life and leisure. I taught Spanish classes with adults that were possibly double or triple my age. But that was my first experience teaching Spanish, and that enabled me to discover a calling that I have, which is teaching. I love to teach, and I have a strong belief that through teaching, if you teach language, you can teach culture as well. And that later on presented itself in myself completing my Bachelor of Arts in Spanish and History, and later on completing my Bachelor's of Education for secondary education. I obtained my first job teaching French and my second job teaching Spanish elementary. At the same time that I obtained my first job, I opened my first business, which was selling, importing, and distributing different food products from Latin America to Winnipeg. Business was booming, but at the same time, it was a platform for me to know different people within the Latino community here in Winnipeg. But not only Latino community, but also different members of diverse communities that we can find here in Winnipeg. I rapidly learned that I had become a leader within my community, and I had an influence in my community as well. So I decided I needed to do more than what I was doing. Through my studies at University of Manitoba, I was able to participate in two service learning programs, one in Nicaragua and another one in Ecuador, where I got to learn about diverse problems that were happening in those countries, such as domestic violence, exploitation and corruption of indigenous land, and poverty, just to name a few. But what we learned as well was that it's just not their problem. It's problems that we have here in Canada as well, just to different degrees at times. But we can learn from other people as well. And later on, with my studies in Indigenous perspectives in university, it all came around to help remind me that I have a voice, I have influence in the community, and I need to do more than what I was currently doing. So then I decided to become a pavilion coordinator for Folklorama. I was coordinator for the 2019 El Salvador Pavilion. I was probably one of the youngest coordinators there, or in their history probably. Apart from that, I decided to start a children's dance group called Las Aguilitas. And Las Aguilitas stands for Little Eagles, because the mascot or the animal that represents Earl Grey is an eagle. and I used to teach there. It's the only Spanish immersion program in the province, and I wanted to continue promoting the Spanish immersion program, and as well promoting the diversity that you can find within the children's dance group, because the dance group was open to any age, it was open to any ethnic background, and at the same time they get to learn about the culture and the language and expressing themselves through dance. Apart from that, I help initiate the adult dance group called Latin Roots, and later on we decided to become an association, and then with that came the non-for-profit organization, which has helped to create many events such as soccer tournaments, socials, craft sales, film festivals, and we have so much more planned. That's where this new project comes into hand. We are planning Juntos Somos Más, which means together we are more, or together we are stronger. It's an event that wishes to have guest speakers from all over the province, not just Winnipeg, but from other cities and towns of Manitoba, with guest speakers who wish to share their story with the audience. And from that, there's lots of learning and teaching that can happen, and growth. So in the future, if the event goes well, we would like to continue doing similar events annually. But you have to start somewhere, correct? And apart from the guest speakers, we wish to have different dance groups that we can find here in Winnipeg or in Manitoba. So that's where our kids group would join in, that's where our adults group would join in. And throughout the many years of working within the community, I know many other dance groups that would be more than excited to join us on such a nice event. I learned throughout my years of studies as well that I was very fortunate that my parents taught me about their hardships that they went through in Latin America. You know, my mom came from a war conflict nation. You know, El Salvador had a 12-year civil war, and I learned a lot from that. You know, and then later on I did my own research, but I also learned that many of my friends who have similar ethnic backgrounds as myself don't know anything about their history because their parents never shared any of these hardships with them. And there's different reasons as to why people decide not to share, but I also believe that there's a large message behind sharing different experiences that one may have encountered. And it doesn't matter if you're from El Salvador, Argentina, Spain, Germany, Vietnam, we all have different stories but with similar messages. And I would think that a event as the one that we are planning would be quite powerful. So I hope that with this grant we will be able to cover the costs of renting the theater or hall, covering the cost of having staff helping us with lights and all the technology that I'm not aware of how to run it, and also helping the current dance groups that we have within the city and the province to continue. There are costs, you know, there's costs for costumes and for regalia, and I think we would be helping the youth and the future leaders of tomorrow to continue being prideful of who they are and their roots. And this is just the beginning. So I want to thank you for taking your time to listen to this video and learning a bit about myself. I encourage you to visit my website that I created so you learn a little bit about myself, and as well visuals where you could see different pictures of how I have contributed to the community, and not just myself, but the non-for-profit organization Latin Roots Dance Group and Association has helped and plans to continue to help. Thank you, and I will see you soon. Hopefully you'll see me dancing a little bit Salvadorian or a little bit Colombian, and have a good time, but as well a powerful message for the community at large. So thank you.